Today on the dish, Chef Suzanne Cupps. After spending 15 years working in some of New York City's top kitchens, Cupps is now leading her own, opening Lola's and Nomad in April. With impeccably sourced ingredients and an uncanny knack at combining familiar flavors with the lesser known, Cupps has created both a go-to neighborhood spot and a dining destination. And as we found out on a recent visit, her inspiration wasn't hard to find.
A little yogurt in the middle.
I couldn't work here because I'd be drooling all the time. Because right now I'm like, let's go, let's go.
That's the way it should be, though.
At Lola's in New York City's Nomad neighborhood, Chef Suzanne Cupps has blended Asian influences and Southern charm.
You're creating a piece of art on that plate.
Whether it's her naan tikka masala,
Absolutely love the carrot in it.
a Korean-inspired beef tartare with barley and sun-choked chips, or crispy tilefish lettuce wraps.
It's kind of a nice medium-sized fish. We're getting it local, and it's just like a really flaky, juicy type of fried fish.
What has the reaction been to the different flavors and foods that you've brought in here to the neighborhood?
The reaction that we've seen is people being so excited because it's a little newer.
Lola's is Cupps' first solo endeavor and a reflection of its owner.
Lola means grandmother in Tagalog, and my dad is Filipino. So it's really a way to honor my grandmother, who I never met. And with the restaurant, I wanted to kind of bring together all the pieces of my past.
Cupps grew up in South Carolina, playing sports and excelling in school. Her future career, far from mind.
I never liked food growing up. I never wanted to be in the kitchen.
Get out.
Yeah, and so it just feels like I have two separate lives. My life before, where I lived in the South and didn't like food, and then since I moved to New York, my life is very different.
Before the move, as a student at Clemson, Cupps was a math major, planning to be a teacher.
Math just came easy, and I enjoyed math classes, so I did my whole degree in math, and the last semester I was supposed to student teach and be done, and I said, I don't want to be a math teacher. And I feel that if you don't really want to be, especially a teacher, but math in general,
There's no way
like
you're
you should
gonna
not
make
be a
it. Yeah.
teacher. What you want to do is go from the underside.
But teaching wasn't a problem for Cupps when it came to showing me how to make that fresh naan.
All right,
Suzanne, I am struggling with this. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I've seen a lot of.
I feel like I'm going to tear it or something.
Okay, so let's see.
Okay.
Oh, perfect. All right, so this is the hardest part.
I
so
can do
let's go
this.
right here. I'm gonna crank up the oven. Go right in the middle there.
Okay. Who's watching this? I need this on camera.
Extend the arm the whole way.
Okay.
Put it down and just pull it.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Just one of the many skills Cupps developed after discovering a passion for food and hospitality in New York City. Her culinary education came at the hands of masters, from Anita Lowe at the Asian-French destination Anissa to nearly a decade of work as part of Danny Meyer's Union Square Hospitality Group.
I went to work for Mike Anthony at Gramercy Tavern, and he was the one who really started talking about ingredients and the farmer's market in a different way. You say, please?
An approach Cupps embraced. Vegetable-forward dishes like Lola's Japanese-inspired bento box, sourced at the nearby Union Square Market. When we visited, an apple daikon salad, charred banana squash with spicy Calabrian chili, and a Caraflex cabbage with miso honey.
This one is sweet and roasted.
Okay.
This one is a little spicy, and this one's really fresh. So I think it's a really fun variety.
That's great.
Do you want me to put some on yours? Yes, please.
Cupps' crispy chicken thighs are a mix of Korean and Southern in how they're fried, with a touch of her Filipino heritage.
In the Philippines, you will find a little bottle of vinegar that just sits on the table a lot. It's called suka. I just like that nod kind of to the Philippines to have a little suka on the table for the chicken.
So delicious.
No ode to the South would be complete without pulled pork. At Lola's, it's served with roasted white sweet potatoes, black garlic honey butter, collard greens, and crispy onions, all atop South Carolina barbecue sauce.
First of all, the sauce is fantastic.
Gives it a little punch.
What a great mix.
These pieces of Cupps' past in one menu, creating not just a meal, but an experience.
As a chef, it's really hard to do anything new. Everything's been done.
Especially in New York.
Especially in New York. And I want the first reaction to be, wow, that was delicious, I want to eat it again. And so we're trying to create a memory. Like, I remember beef tartare, I always order it, but I never really order it like this.
You mean you want people to do what I'm about to do because it's only the two of us here, so I'm just going to go in for one more bite. It's really good.
Even Lola's desserts are both alluring and accessible. A buckwheat chocolate chip cookie with oolong oat milk for dipping, and a leche flan adorned by a cherry jam.
So it's very different than how Filipinos would normally eat it. Usually just eat it plain.
You are like my spirit chef right now. All of these. Oh my God.
Cupps and her team not only deliberate in how their dishes are created, but also where. With the anchor of Lola's, its open jade-colored kitchen.
The green
Yes.
has meaning for you.
It does. It's a little story about my grandmother back in World War II in the Philippines, who was just like this amazing, heroic woman who had to hide, take my dad and his sister. She was pregnant. She only lived about a year after they got to safety, but we don't have anything from her other than her wedding picture.
Okay.
And about 5 years ago, somehow this piece of jewelry made it back to my dad, and it was this jade green bracelet. From my Lola, my grandmother.
Cupps wears a piece of it as a pendant. That wedding photo sits in the front of the restaurant, but she says the kitchen backdrop is her constant reminder that her strong Lola is always around her. That strength, no doubt, a part of Cupps too.
Every moment of my time right now is at Lola's. But I think that's okay, and I like the idea of teaching the next group and to provide opportunities for growth, just like was provided for me.
It's amazing to hear you say that because originally you talked about being a math teacher. You're still teaching.
For real, I didn't think of that when I
Yeah.
started this job.
But in a very different way, with a passion for what you are teaching.
Exactly. If this restaurant is just my vision and just about me, it's a very boring restaurant. But if we can surround ourselves with a really strong team, front and back, both, I think it becomes a changing restaurant that stays relevant, that is exciting for people to come to year after year.
And it really is, yeah, well, I'm sorry, I should
This
duh.
is
We've been eating it, yeah.
unbelievable.
The buckwheat chocolate chip cookie, oolong goat milk, oat milk, it's not goat.
Oh, you're supposed
oat
to
milk.
dip. Oh, well.
So the thing I was gonna say is she really has created what she wanted, which is a spot that people in the neighborhood just go pop in every night because there's a different enough menu and varied, but it's stuff they know, it's accessible. And then also a destination for some because these are special foods and this is a special place. It truly, everything I had was as good as it looked on my face.
And you were talking about it too
Yeah.
in the commercial break. All that. Yeah, no, it is.
I'm gonna
and
eat
we're
this.
going for sure.